and it's those amino acids that you need. But when it comes to like calories and sugars, like bread has a lot of carbohydrates in it. So you can have complex carbohydrates which can turn into sugar. So it's really in the carbohydrates. You can have simple carbohydrates, which is like the white sugar, the donuts, white flour, stuff like that. And then you can have complex carbohydrates. Like I'm not sure if a sweet potato is a complex carbohydrate, but it is a excellent food source. Y'all follow what I'm saying? And so that's one thing. But then you have fat. Fat contains almost 3 times the amount of energy compared to like carbohydrates. Okay, so one of the things that happens with your body is like you'll start burning your fat, but you actually need sugar. You need the sugar side of things to actually ignite that burn, to get that burn to going, to release the energy from the fat. Okay, I often would think about this as your second win. You guys ever ran or played basketball so long and you're just like, man, I should be exhausted, but now I want to play 10 more games, or I should be tired. I feel like I could keep running. It's almost like the way I'm not saying that this is true, but my hypothesis is that now you're into the fat burning portion. All of us basically have an unlimited source of energy from our fat, no matter how thin we are. We have a lot of energy stored in our fat. You follow what I'm saying? So all right. So the conservation of energy basically states that energy is neither created or destroyed. Mm-hmm. It should be. I think I opened them all up, didn't I? I did not? Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to open up the rest of the units. My bad. Um, so energy is neither created or destroyed, only transformed. Okay. So you can go from gravitational potential energy to kinetic potential energy. You can go from electric potential energy to kinetic energy. You'll have these varying things that are taking place. So conservation of energy, and it is a law. So I probably should have put law here. And it reaches all the way across like all of physics. If you start trying to violate this principle, it's not that you can't violate it in some mindsets, but if you start violating it, then, weird things are going to start happening. All right. So electric fields are said to violate this. It's possible that gravitational fields would as well. This work energy theorem came out of thermodynamics first. So basically, this gentleman, he worked in a brewing factory where they brewed beer. And one guy, he was a French scientist. He was a chemist. He basically was like, well, heat is a particle. A particle. So there was a time, there was like I want to say like 30 years when folks were like, heat is a particle. So basically, when things heated up, it took on mass, or it took on these particles. So there was a guy who actually refuted that